This is insane. You can't just release Mansour.
If a judge decides that your department's working practices render the evidence you provide inadmissible...
Don't go there, Charles. You're chief legal counsel for Downing Street. I went over our material with you in minute detail, and you assured me it would be admitted as evidence.
Needless to say, the Prime Minister is rather concerned about this turn of events.
Or your version of them.
It simply felt that your section would benefit from supervision, just to make sure you're dotting the I's and crossing the T's appropriately.
Do I get a prize for guessing who our new supervisor might be?
I'm no happier about this than you are.
I doubt that's true.
You're to copy me on your briefing documents to the JIC and the Home Office until further notice.
So, a key figure in Islamic terrorism is going to walk free from court tomorrow morning, and we're going to counter whatever plans he has to attack this country with more paperwork.
I'm not the enemy, Harry.
No, with friends like you.
When you'd learn the value of friends like me, you might find your road through life a little less bumpy.
The prosecution of Mr. Mansour was an important test case for the government's new anti-terrorism legislation. But in what's already been described as a major blow to the government, the judge in the case has ruled that some video evidence against Mr. Mansour was inadmissible in court. He said he was left with no choice but to dismiss the case,
thereby putting the British public firmly in harm's way.
London, Leeds, Bradford, Birmingham and Manchester have all raised their alert
the
levels.
steps of the Royal Court of Justice, where Mr. Mansour is expected to make his statement very shortly.
This government wants to cut the heads off the Muslim people. They want to remove our leaders from this country and bend us to their will. But today we have shown them we will not give in to our weak, sinful, corrupt society. It is the will of Allah that our sons will reach manhood living under Sharia law, even here in Britain. Death to the enemies of Christ!
Tell me that wasn't us, Harry.
Mansour confirmed dead at the scene by paramedics.
Shooter's been confirmed dead too. They'll have an ID within the hour.
Nothing takes an hour. We have to unravel this fast, and that shooter's the first thread we pull. Grab a still from the news broadcast and have Malcolm run it for a face match. I want to know who this man was.
Everyone on our end's denying any involvement.
Mossad?
This isn't Mossad's style.
If the various fundamentalists of the world think they can settle their differences in our backyard, they're very much mistaken. We stop this now.
Isn't there a sense of frustration that a man like Khalid Mansour can walk out of court on a technicality?
Yes, and it was perhaps that frustration that boiled over today. The important thing is we protect ourselves against men like Khalid Mansour without resorting to vigilantism or violence.
The shooter was Daniel Ellis, 38 years old. He joined the Royal Marines in 1988, served in Desert Storm. Since his discharge, he's had no fixed abode. Only child. Both parents deceased. Sporadic treatment for drug and alcohol addiction.
Religion?
Born again would be my guess. Alcoholism, drug abuse, he was searching for something. When did he find it, Joe?
He doesn't appear to have had any dependency counselling beyond March 2003. And his registered address was the Mission of St Dominic de Guzman in Bloomsbury.
What is that, a homeless shelter?
Yeah, with a twist. These places offer free bed and board as long as you accept Jesus into your heart.
So this place cured Ellis of his addiction?
Yeah, and introduced him instead to a new one. Religion. The opium of the masses.
Really? I thought that was football.
Yeah, except for our Cantona wasn't his last message to the world.
So it's really important that you understand the drugs, the alcohol weren't making anything better. They were just removing the symptoms of withdrawal and making you feel normal. On crack or heroin or booze, you feel how I feel every day.
Lucky you.
But you all remember that first high, don't you? How amazing it was. How all those doors seem to be opening up to new possibilities. Well, that's a feeling you can get every day when you accept the love of Jesus Christ. It's clean, it's healthy, and best of all, it's free. After that, the possibilities are endless. Let's bow our heads. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation.
Death to the enemies of Christ.
They think it's a hand grenade. 5 confirmed dead, more injured.
Got the first victim ID. It's Hakeem Mohammed.
Fundamentalist cleric. Spoke out in favour of the London suicide bombers.
You all need to see this. It just hit the Islamic fundamentalist website. It's already spreading across the web. We're analysing it now.
The executions of the enemies of Christ, Khalid Mansour and Hakeem Mohammed, were carried out by the sons of Phineas. Britain is a nation under Christ, and we will no longer tolerate the Muslims in our ranks. This is a declaration of war against Islam. We will drive Islam from our shores and turn the sea red with Muslim blood.
Okay, now we know what they call themselves. Let's find out who the hell they are.
This place is falling apart. We should pull some strings.
The death of Khalid Mansour was supposed to be the beginning and the end of this, Stephen. An example to our enemies that we can't be pushed around. And to our government that the people would support a tougher stance on Islam, and it was working. Our job was done.
No, it wasn't.
Innocent lives were lost in Bradford.
Innocents were injured. Only the cleric and his men died.
And now this declaration of war.
They declared the war, now we join it.
In the name of a peace-loving God. Do you have any idea the damage it does to the church?
You asked me to kill Khalid Mansour for you. Was that a peace-loving act?
No. No. And I've accepted it as a horrible necessity. A sin committed for the greater good. But this holy war you wage is nothing more than terrorism in the name of Christ. You've become what you despise.
If you want to stop me, pick up the phone to the police and tell them everything. Throw yourself upon your sword and save the innocent lives that this war will claim. You can't do that because you love the power and influence that this church brings you more than you love the God that founded it.
Become what I despise. You're everything that I despise, Bishop.
Sons of Phineas have a website which is a vehicle for the usual right-wing fundamentalist Christian polemics. Jews are the spawn of Satan, Muslims have no soul, you know the thing.
Who's Phineas?
It's Old Testament. Phineas was a follower of Aaron and a general in his army. When one of his fellow Israelites took up with a Midianite woman, Phineas killed them both to prevent the bloodline of Israel being polluted by foreign blood.
All right, threat assessment. Did they kill these 2 men, and how serious are they in their intentions?
We're pretty light on intelligence at the moment.
How many active members have they got?
We don't know.
Who's financing them?
We're trying to trace that at the moment.
Contacts with other extremist groups?
We're working with GCHQ and anti-terrorism to try and...
Does anybody know anything about this group that did not come from typing Sons of Phineas into Google?
They're under the radar, Harry.
They shot a man dead outside the Royal Courts of Justice. They just decimated a restaurant in Bradford, killing 4 people. Their agents are prepared to die for their cause, and they've issued a public declaration of war against Islam. Let's get them firmly on the radar.
The only link we could find between Daniel Ellis and the Bradford bomber Michael King, apart from their military backgrounds, was that both men were resident at this homeless shelter at different times. Now, this shelter is run by this man, Stephen Paynton. We've silhouette and voice matched surveillance of Paynton with the Sons of Phineas video, and we're sure it's him.
And we think he spent the last 7 years taking homeless men with military backgrounds off the streets, turning them into soldiers for his cause. We're not in danger of being a shade paranoid.
Even paranoid to have enemies.
And they could be anywhere.
But somewhere there's going to be a list of who they are and where they are. We need to get it. Or rather, we need Stephen Paynton to give it to us. Now, the Sons of Phineas have been getting offers of support from other extremist groups through their website. That's our way in.
Okay, here we go. Oh, very clever, Mr. Payton.
What's he doing?
He's loading up a piece of software which will encode all his keystrokes.
Doesn't matter. We can still read the screen.
The joys of fiber optic surveillance. Smile, Mr. Payton, you're on camera. Good, he's gone straight to our email.
Come on, take the bait. Reply.
He's checking out the fake website. What happened to the real League of Christ?
The group died out, but they've been reborn for our purposes. They're cash-rich and eager to fund Payton's holy war.
Got him.
Police in Manchester were on high alert last night after 2 teenagers were attacked by a group of Asian men. Community leaders are claiming it was a revenge attack prompted by the murders of the radical cleric Khalid Mansour and Hakim Mohammed by the Christian fundamentalist group Sons of Phineas.
Dad, do you think work will let you go on the Ferris wheel?
I don't know, maybe.
Can I come with you?
I'd love you to, mate, but it's a work trip, you know.
We can have our own adventure while your dad's away. We could go on the Millennium Wheel.
Sounds like you're gonna have a better time than me.
You're always going away.
Yeah, I know, but it's just for a couple of days. I'll tell you what. Why don't you take your camera with you on the wheel, and then you can show me the photos when you get back. Where are you going?
It's bedtime.
What? All right, I'll tell you what. I'll come up in a minute and read you another chapter of your book.
I want Jenny to read.
I'll be up in a minute. He'll be okay.
If the Prime Minister is uncomfortable, get him to call me. I will gladly explain to him the nature of the security service. I'll even use small words so that he doesn't get confused. Is there anything we do have a choice over anymore? Well, if you think of something, Charles, let me know. Downing Street's esteemed legal advisor, now questioning the content of my operational briefings. Where's Ellen?
Harry.
Ah, nice of you to join us.
The 2 boys are said to be in a critical
Manchester.
position in hospital, and
It's
a
their
candidate
first
vigil has
retaliation.
begun outside.
One of those boys doesn't make it.
We think this is Stephen Payton's game plan. He's realised how dry the tinder is, and he's throwing sparks at it.
He's been recruiting for 7 years. He's got a lot of sparks. Should we just bring him in?
No, a lunatic like Payton won't tell us anything, however hard we push.
We'll have to distract him, buy ourselves more time.
How?
If we tempt him with the possibility of a really significant strike against his enemies, we can persuade him to postpone whatever attacks he has planned and buy ourselves enough time to uncover his organisation.
And who is going to cast temptation in his path?
The League of Christ, our fictional Austrian group. Payton's arranged a meeting with Morgan. Adam Morgan, that is, the company chairman. He's British and a born-again Christian fanatic. If anyone can gain Payton's trust, dazzle him with the possibilities of a global holy war, and find out everything about his army of martyrs, it's Adam Morgan.
Mr. Payton. Adam Morgan. I'm glad you replied to my email. I represent some people who want me to find out if you're either very brave or very stupid. What do you see, Stephen? It's spectacular, Mr. Morgan. Adam, please. And you're not really looking. 2,000 years of Christian achievement. The Romans, the Spanish, the French. We've withstood them all. The Great Fire of London came closer than anything else to destroying it. And out of the ashes rose the greatest cathedral in the world. God watches over London. And now these people with their homemade bombs think they can bring this city to its knees.
Do you know the story of the Hagia Sophia?
Another great cathedral. It was built in Istanbul, Constantinople as it was then, by the Emperor Justinian, who claimed he'd outdone Solomon himself. For 1,000 years, it remained the largest cathedral in the world.
What happened to it?
In 1453, Constantinople fell to the Ottomans. The greatest cathedral the world had ever seen became a mosque.
And you want to battle it with grenades and revolvers?
Have you seen the news about Manchester?
The teenagers who were attacked.
This is how it begins. The retaliations will draw in all sides. With the right provocation, the war on the streets will become a war that engulfs the whole world and sees the armies of Christ finally victorious. The second coming of the Messiah is prophesied only after the earth has lived in Christian harmony for 2,000 years.
Armageddon.
As it is written, so shall it come to pass.
If you continue to embark on these petty acts of vigilantism, you'll eventually be arrested, reviled as a lunatic, and locked up. Your movement will die, and history will ignore you.
Thank you for your time.
You're not stupid, Stephen. You're a brave man with pure ambition. But your methods are short-sighted, and you will fail.
And who are you to judge me?
I'm the man who can help you wage your war.
This League of Christ,
We're looking into them.
they want to support Paynton's holy war.
So it seems.
And if they provide him with the means to launch a significant attack on one of our cities?
The situation is in hand.
In hand, as in you're watching him, preparing to arrest him, what?
This man has spent 7 years building a network of devoted killers who are prepared to die for his cause. Now, we need to know who they are and where they are. Stephen Paynton is not the sort of man to give that up just because we're shining a light in his eyes.
Where, Harry, in this miracle of misdirection and understatement, does it tell me how you do intend to uncover that information?
Potentially compromising details of ongoing operations I strictly need to know.
Oh, I think I do need to know.
Then petition the JIC for higher clearance.
Charles, you're a lawyer. I don't personally have anything against that, except to say every building in Whitehall contains lines of sad lawyers and accountants going around tapping their nose saying, need to know. Yes.
Put him through. You'll have to excuse me.
If a mosque gets blown up tomorrow morning because your information on Paynton's plans was incomplete, you'll be hung out to dry.
A man in my position faces that possibility every day, Mr. Lee. You learn to let it not cloud your judgment.
The League of Christ. I've never heard of them.
MI5 seem to be taking them seriously. According to the files, they were active in Vienna during the 60s and 70s. They seem to have resurfaced, and they're offering to support your boy's holy war.
I'll make some calls.
How close are you to all this, David? Please tell me there was never any direct contact between you and Stephen Paynton.
He came to me 10 years ago, David. He wanted to train for the priesthood. And in many ways, he was a perfect candidate. Passionate, knowledgeable, devoted.
But?
Some men make God in their own image, Charles. Stephen Paynton forged a god of hatred and violence. I thought he might have mellowed. He believes he can start a war in this country between Christians and Muslims that will spread to engulf the world.
Then he is insane.
Yes. He says if he's arrested, he'll name me. I'm a bishop. I sit in the House of Lords. I'm a personal friend and advisor to the Prime Minister. If it comes out...
Why couldn't you have left this alone?
You're the one who tipped us off. What did you think we were going to do? Send flowers? We talked about what we had to do and why we had to do it, what we needed.
We talked about a single strike. But you had to give the job to somebody who was already preparing for Armageddon.
I think what we need to do is...
We don't need to do anything, David. You need to stop him.
We've been here just over 2.5 years now. There's space for 30 permanent residents and a further 50 transients in the dorms. Transients? The residents have transformed their lives and are now ready to move forwards. Transients are in various stages of conquering their afflictions and finding the true path.
So the permanent residents are all...
Well, now in the community, helping to spread the word of God.
Stephen Paynton's private army.
The residents also help to maintain the place and act as counsellors to the transients. Obviously, not all the transients go on to become residents. Our mission is to rescue people from the streets and encourage them to let Christ into their hearts. If they find themselves unable to do so, there's a limit to how long we can allow them to become a burden. We save souls here, not lives.
It's charming.
Shall we?
I'll be frank. Our friends in Vienna want to help you. But they've been here before. Getting involved with groups like yours that seem promising at the outset, but who ultimately lack ambition.
Well, that's not me.
Perhaps not. But there's a long journey to make between where you are now and what you want to achieve. And I don't think you're walking in the right direction. How many more soldiers do you have around the country?
Enough.
Enough. I understand your reluctance to divulge everything at once. Details can wait. Let's forget about the individual Muslim for the moment. You need to think much bigger. There are over 1,600 mosques in the country. So assuming you have the manpower, you're not short of more ambitious targets.
True, but mosques are...
Bricks and mortar. There's only so much damage you can do with revolvers and grenades. If you're going to wage a war, your army needs equipment. Do you know what this is?
Gave you my life. Every breath I've drawn in this miserable world you made. So why are these murderers feeling themselves touched by your grace while I stand here alone, staring into the abyss? I caused the man's death. So where's my guidance? Where's my protection? I made you in my own image. Weak. You're cowardly. He looks down on all of this and he does nothing! So what I do now, it might not be right in your eyes, but it will save lives. I'm damned to hell anyway. I might as well earn my place.
Call sign.
Echo Lima 794.
Rerouting you now. Hello?
It's me.
Hello, you. How's Vienna?
Surprisingly quiet. Where's that?
Yes. Playing with his toys.
Clever word.
Where's your dad? Sorry, Adam.
But we've talked. I've been away before.
He just misses you.
Well, tell him I miss him too. And I'll be home soon. Jen, I've been thinking, you know, when I get back, maybe we should spend some time together. All of us.
That would be nice.
Okay. Well, will you send him my love? And tell him I'll see him soon.
Adam?
Jenny, my mobile's vibrating. I've got to take it. It's another call. I'll speak to you tomorrow.
You're never late. It was all this stuff that drew me to the church as a kid. Stained glass, statuettes. 100 people whispering the Lord's Prayer in unison. So quiet, it was like the breath of God moving amongst us. But it's all just ritual without meaning, isn't it? Thy kingdom come, thy will be done. Those words are said so often they become meaningless to people like you. But I am doing his will, David. I am going to restore his kingdom. I know why you brought me here. But you haven't got the guts to kill me any more than you had the guts to deal with Khalid Mansour by yourself. And if I'm wrong, if I am just insane, why won't he grant you the conviction to stop me? Why won't he give you the courage to step out of those shadows and put an end to this trouble I am causing? He's not your God anymore, David. He's mine.
You didn't do it.
Did either of us think I really would? We have to stop kidding ourselves that we're up to this, Charles. We talk a good game, but Stephen Paynton is the real thing. From the moment I picked up the phone to him, we were in over our heads.
These were passed to me by a well-connected friend at the Israeli embassy. It seems Mossad are keeping an eye on Stephen Paynton. They're worried about his involvement with the Austrians. They smell anti-Semitism. But they don't exist, David. The Austrians, the League of Christ. I made some calls. They were disbanded more than 20 years ago.
The man in the photograph is an MI5 officer.
It's only a matter of time now before the whole thing comes tumbling down.
When they come for me, I'll confess my part. I won't drag you down with me.
If only it were that simple.
what you and I have done could put the whole government at risk. I can't have that responsibility.
What then?
Mossad have swallowed the MI5 cover story. They think the League of Christ is real. They think Paynton's doing a deal with them. They're worried that we're sitting on our hands. Perhaps the time has come to confirm their worst suspicions and to suggest that they put an end to this sorry fiasco in their own inimitable way.
You want to trick Mossad into killing an MI5 agent as well as Stephen Paynton?
I'll lose sleep, but not as much as if our actions brought down the government.
What have we done, Charles?
We've made rather a mess, I'm afraid. But now we have a chance to clean it up.
Payne's backer knew in advance that Mansour's deportation would fail.
So they must know how close we are to Paynton.
So they'll either tell him we're on to him or kill him to stop him talking.
We can't let that happen. His army's still out there. Let me pull Paynton.
He won't talk, we know that.
He won't talk to us, but let me pull him in character.
It's a risky double bluff.
Every other option takes too long.
What do you need?
Charlie 2, I have eyeball on Paynton and his minders. You tell us when. Go now.
Sweet dreams.
Hello, Stephen. Adam. Who are you working for, Stephen?
What are you doing? You know who I am.
That's right, I do. You're Judas.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Look at the laptop, Stephen. Keep lying to me, and I'll kill them.
I'm not lying.
I had the police in my office this afternoon. In my office, Stephen.
What do they want?
A receipt for the 30 pieces of silver they gave you. What did you tell them?
I haven't talked to anyone.
Well, they knew all about you.
Adam!
Choose your next words very carefully. They may well be your last. The police came to see me. They knew your name. They knew about the sons of Phineas, and they knew about me. Now, what did you tell them?
I swear to you, I haven't talked to anyone.
The police only catch people more stupid than they are. I'm not stupid, Stephen. They don't knock on my door unless somebody's opened their mouth. Kill the other one.
No.
Wait.
I know who talked. It was David Newman. It must have been.
Who?
David Newman. He's the Bishop of Whitechapel. He advises the government on Christian affairs.
We're getting nowhere here. You blew it, Stephen.
Newman came to me to kill Khalid Mansour.
And why would he do that?
To protect the church, he said. To send a message to Islam that we can't be pushed around.
I don't believe a word you're saying.
Then pull the trigger.
That wasn't so hard, now was it, Stephen? So, now that you're finally in the mood for being honest, let's talk business.
David Newman. I am no longer surprised by mankind.
As the PM's special advisor, this could destroy the government.
I think a certain renegade bishop requires a visit. Talk to Adam. We still need that list of Paynton's soldiers.
Joe Portman.
Wes, he's gone missing. He went to his room after he finished dinner. I've just been up to check on him and he's not there.
Harry, Wes is missing.
I searched the whole house, but he's not here. Adam's on a job. I can't call him.
All right, Jenny, now slow down. Was there any sign of a struggle? Could Wes have been taken?
No, his rucksack's gone. And his toothbrush. He must have run away. He's been upset.
Okay. I need you to wait by the phone. I need to talk to someone. I'll call you back. Potentially missing for 3 hours.
London at night, alone. Poor Wes. Pull Adam off the operation. Use every resource we have to find that little boy. Call me the second you get anything.
That looked really good.
Yeah, could look better. Joe was supposed to go over too.
No, it worked fine. These two still out?
Yeah, I gave them an extra dose in case the charges from the blood packs woke them up.
Okay, we'll get him back into a holding cell in Thames House.
What about Payton?
I've told him the only way he keeps his deal with the Austrians alive is if we get full disclosure. I'm taking him to the shelter. He's going to give us a full list of his so-called soldiers.
Right. Adam, Joe called. Wes has gone missing.
When?
A few hours ago.
What's he been taken?
No, they don't know. They want to take you off the case.
I can't. Payton's just about to give me the list. I have to do this first. This is our only chance. It's my fault.
No, you stay focused on Payton. I'll take care of this.
He's 9 years old and he's out there all on his own.
Sometimes I think it's stupid, selfish of us to have a child. What kind of a world is he gonna know?
I'll go back to the group and I'll put every resource we have into finding Wes, but you stay on Payton and you block this out. Adam, I'll find him. I promise. Now go.
I can't lose him.
You won't.
I'm sorry, the church is closed at the moment.
If what you've done gets out, they all might be.
I should have been open with you from the start. I should have trusted you. We're the same, aren't we? Dedicated to a single cause with a purity of purpose. We'll always prevail because we can't be distracted.
Daddy.
This country has grown ashamed of itself. We're a Christian nation embarrassed by our faith.
Didn't God give man free will? He must have realized it wouldn't always go his way.
Men like you are charged to defend us. How can you justify protecting our enemies?
You see a man like Khalid Mansour talking about a Britain under Islamic rule and it frightens you. It frightens a lot of people. But I see a man like you conspiring to kill Mansour, embarking on a journey from which there can be no return. And it frightens me just as much. Today you kill Muslims, tomorrow Jews, soon we'll be back burning Catholics and witches. Afghanistan under the Taliban frightens me no more than England under Cromwell.
What happens now?
You're in an interesting position. Senior clergyman, friend of the Prime Minister. We can hardly clap you in irons and parade you through the streets.
I could retire.
And deprive the world of your passion, when there are so many who could benefit. I'm seeing missionary work. Africa. South America.
You're talking about deportation.
The irony is not lost on me.
I just wanted to defend my country.
That's my job. And I'm better at it.
Yeah, a photo was emailed over. Right. Make sure it's issued to every patrol car and community support officer. I want updates on this line every 15 minutes.
Yes. GCHQ haven't picked up any activity directed at Adam's family. We have to assume for now this is just a little boy wanting attention.
Yeah, well, he's got that. Every police officer, every port, train station and bus depot's been alerted. Right now, Wes Carter's the most wanted child in the country.
Adam's arriving at the shelter.
Thames House, this is Alpha 2. I have visual on Payton and our officer. Maintaining...
Alpha 2? Alpha 2, come in.
His comms are still live.
Alpha 3, do you have eyeball on Alpha 2? Alpha 3, come in.
Where have they gone?
How many are there? 35 left. Why is this page marked? Manchester. We have to stoke the fires, Adam.
Sometimes I think it was stupid. Selfish of us.
Call him off. Too late. What's the target?
The mosque. City centre. 12 pounds of Semtex. You wanted me to think big.
When?
Within the hour.
This is Ros Myers. We have an authenticated Priority 1 terrorist threat on the Central Mosque in Manchester.
Simon Grant. I've got his Royal Navy personnel file.
Suspect is a Simon Grant, 31 years old, IC1, dark hair, slim build. Details are on their way to you. Alert local authorities, anti-terrorism and joint intelligence. That's everything, Adam. We have the list.
Send in Alpha Team to bring him up.
Who are you talking to?
You've been played, Stephen.
Someone just cut the power to the whole building.
Sometimes I think it was stupid, selfish of us to have a child.
Adam, it's Ros. Can you hear me? I'm on my way to you.
Malcolm, can we retask one of GCHQ's thermal imaging satellites onto the shelter?
I'll try. It'll take me a minute or two to recalibrate the protocols. Okay, that's the satellite realigned, but we only have a 7-minute window before it passes out of range and we lose visual. Switching to thermal imaging. Oh dear.
Can you hear me? Are you hurt? Adam!
Can we get their comms?
I've scanned for them, but either they don't have any or they're on radio silence.
Malcolm, I'm 2 minutes away. Do you have a visual?
5 people have just entered the building in what appeared to be a military formation. One of them is standing guard outside. And Ros, Adam's collapsed. He seems to be having some kind of fit. He's not responding.
There's movement on the first floor.
Okay, Malcolm, I'm at the shelter.
But I don't have a line of sight.
Who's there?
Who's there?
They've killed Payton. They're not turning back.
Right, I'm going in.
Does anyone want to tell me what they can see, or am I going in blind?
There's a guard outside the entrance.
You've got to hurry. They're close to finding Adam.
Gorgeous. Malcolm, no ID, no wallet, nothing. Malcolm, this is a Jericho.
Jericho? That's Israeli.
This is a Mossad hit squad.
Okay, I'm going in. Keep trying to get through to Adam.
Get me a secure line to the cultural attaché at the Israeli embassy.
Adam? Adam, can you hear me?
Adam, there's a Mossad hit squad in that building. They're heading towards you right now.
Daniel, Harry, Piers, tell me I'm not watching satellite imagery of a Mossad hit squad in action right now in central London.
Adam? Adam, please, they're closing in on you.
Adam, you've got to get up.
Adam!
Then let me rephrase the question. What the hell are you people playing at?
Any news on Wes?
No, not yet. Malcolm, they're gonna kill him.
The League of Christ, there's no such thing. It doesn't exist. Yes, I'm sure. We made the bloody thing up.
Adam, we found Wes. He's all right. He's safe. Adam, did you hear what I said?
We found Wes. Your son is safe.
Daddy? Daddy? Is Mummy coming home? Where's my mummy?
Mum's not coming home.
Are we dreaming, Daddy? Are we in this dream together?
Keep Wes safe. Promise me you will.
You've got company. You've got to pull yourself together.
Adam, you're the only thing
That little boy has in the world, so if you don't want to make him an orphan, get up off the
bloody floor now. go.
Miss Myers is in the building with you.
I can't see a bloody thing.
We're running thermal imaging off a GCHQ satellite.
But it's moving, so we don't have much time. I'm with Roz.
I'm going to split you onto Joe's channel.
Adam, out the door and straight ahead for 20 meters.
Left or right?
Left turn at the end and ahead another 10 meters. You'll find a door on your left.
You've stumbled into an undercover operation. 2 of my senior officers are inside that building. Well, you better think of something right now.
We've got to get them help. This is crazy.
Backup is 6 minutes away, and we've only got 2 minutes until we lose the satellite image.
Malcolm, what's going on?
Adam just had a lucky escape. We're going to get you both out of there, but right now you have a more immediate problem.
With so much as a hair out of place, I will have every single Mossad officer in London expelled from this country so fast your head will spin.
Okay, another down, 3 to go, but you've got one heading towards you, Adam, moving fast. Adam, it looks like he's right on top of you.
Can't see anyone.
Adam, 3 o'clock.
Two left.
Roz, Adam's heading down to the ground. We're going to put you together and get you both out of the building.
Copy that.
Okay, Joe. Which way?
I can't tell which floor the other 2 are on.
The satellites move directly overhead. The thermal imaging doesn't give us any depth perspective.
Right, I've got someone moving near you, Adam, but we don't know what floor he's on.
Okay, just tell me how to get out of here.
Down the stairs to your right. Adam, are you okay?
I'm fine. Which way?
Left at the bottom, left again at the end, straight on for 30 meters brings you to the main entrance. Be careful.
Where's Roz?
Down at basement level, making her way towards the main entrance. We're losing the signal.
Adam!
In the nick of time, Daniel.
We've found Wes. Police are with him now. I'm going to go down there and get him home.
Thank the Lord.
Is he okay?
He's fine. He was at Paddington, trying to get to Heathrow, apparently.
Daddy.
Right, mate. I hear you've been on an adventure.
I wanted to surprise you in Vienna.
I know. Well, I'm back now, so you can go to sleep. I love you. Sweet dreams.
Stephen Paynton was a delusional right-wing psychopath who managed to persuade 2 of his converts to martyr themselves for his cause. When the Western world didn't rise up in support, he took his own life. There was no sponsor.
His network, which never officially existed, has been rounded up.
So what, we just sweep the whole thing under the carpet?
Whether you and I personally value them, our sacred institutions are part of the fabric of this society. If we start pulling at loose threads now just because we can, who knows what we'll end up with.
And Mossad?
Tail firmly between their legs.
Well, they could at least tell us who put them up to it.
I rather suspect whoever that was won't be making it into work this morning.
Sa.